Hi, this is Lizzie Page from Change From Within, and this is the first in a short video series about anxiety and panic attacks. And I've decided to record this series because I've met such a number of young people recently who are suffering from panic attacks. And this first one in the series I'm calling Am I Going Mad? Because that's what so many people seem to say to me. I feel like I'm going mad. Am I going mad? And the first thing I want to say to you straight away is no, you are not going mad. Absolutely not. What you're experiencing is the same as what's being experienced by a lot of people. And whilst it's uncomfortable and it's unpleasant, what I want to say to you is that you are not going mad, and change can be much easier than you thought, and change is certainly possible. So you're not going mad is the first and really, really important thing. But you're in good company if that's how it feels, because certainly that's how a lot of people that speak to me explain those feelings that are going on for them. And it feels like that because it's really a question of overload. But you're not going mad because there is actually not anything wrong with you. Underneath, there is nothing wrong with you. And it's really important to understand that, because I think it's very easy when you experience these feelings, and particularly if you've experienced them for a long time, and if you've had help from various sources, to start to think there's actually something really wrong with me here, and it's going to take a lot of work to fix it. And I just really want to spell out to you that that is not the case. There isn't something really, really wrong with you just because it feels so difficult and painful. And it doesn't have to take a long time to fix. Things can change really rapidly once you understand what's going on here. So it's more than a question of giving you more techniques to do or things to think about. What I'm talking about is really getting rid of stuff, because we've been brought up in a society where we the way of operating is that thinking and reasoning and analysing are the ways to solve problems, and for many problems that's effective. This is not one of them, and there are many others for which that isn't the most effective model, but it's a model that we've kind of grown to rely on. But actually there's an even more reliable source of problem solving, if you want to call it that, which is our own inner intuition, wisdom, source of new ideas and creative thinking, source of new thoughts that's coming from inside us all the time. It's like a constant flow. And what's very often happened if you find yourself chronically anxious or having panic attacks is that flow has been blocked off in some way, and it's almost self-perpetuating. The more anxious you feel, the more you feel you can't trust yourself, so you're looking outside you for answers, and they aren't there. The answers are in you, and they've been there all along, and you're fine. You need to trust yourself that you can find those answers inside you. And it's all this noisy thinking which is only increased by panic attacks, which then all the thinking that then we have about having panic attacks, and about that, what that means about the sort of person we are, and about that, what that means about how things will go on in the future. And we get into all this thinking that just gets in the way. It's like a brass band playing in our heads, getting in the way of our own innate wisdom and new ideas, new thinking. And so the work that I do is about helping people to quieten down their minds, to quieten down that thinking, so they can actually start to hear this wisdom that's inside them, this innate health that we all have, just needs to be allowed space to express itself. So it's a little bit like having some electronic device, like a smartphone that's got so much software on it, so many apps on it, that it just can't operate properly anymore, and it starts crashing and losing data and being really slow, not operating properly. And that's what we're like when we've got all this thinking going on. But underneath, that device is working fine. It's just got too much on. Now, we're the same. We have a natural mechanism for sorting things out, problem solving, dealing with situations that life throws at us. But if we're so busy, overloaded with thinking about the past, about the future, about who we are, what other people think of us, how we ought think we ought to be, all that kind of stuff, worrying about how we're reacting in a moment, all that stuff just gets in the way and we can't operate effectively. But what you would do then with a device like that is press the button that resets it to factory settings, return to factory settings, clears everything that you've added on and just gets you back to how that device can work in the first place. And it's the same with us. We have a way of operating. When we were small children, we got upset, we had a tantrum, and then we recovered. Quite quickly, we're back to normal, back to smiling and laughing and playing. And then we might go off on something else. But these moods came and went. And that's just the natural way of things. It's not normal or perhaps even desirable just to be in a sort of plain, steady state all the time. That's part of the life experience, the human experience, to be up and down. It's when we start believing that that's not normal that we can get stuck in some of these negative feelings, because we start analysing it and trying to work our way out of it, rather than just allowing ourselves to surface again, to come back to that easy way of operating. Because life can be easy, it doesn't have to be heavy going, it doesn't have to be hard work. And returning to our factory settings means quietening down all that thinking in our head and allowing ourselves just to listen to that voice of intuition that knows what to do, that knows what's best for us. There's nothing wrong in you. You're fine. There's that part of you that's always been fine and still is. And you just need to hear it, to listen to it. So if you'd like to find out more, listen to the next video in the series, look out for that on my YouTube channel, Lizzie Paish. And if you would like to get in touch with me, I'm Lizzie at changefromwithin.co.uk. My website's www.changefromwithin.co.uk. Looking forward to connecting with you again.